day 136. Summer hit the islands in time for the tail end of the August long weekend. Building is creeping along. I got tinned down on the roof of the woodshed. Unfortunately, I forgot to put on the roofing paper. So I've clearly not absorbed all the lessons of building. I also laid down the piers for the back deck. And again, my poles are not in a straight line. Mostly because I measured off the building, which means I measured off the poles that I first laid down, which were also not in a straight line. Mentor Rich has said that building is about problem solving, and apparently I'm very good at creating problems for myself to solve. But also I got myself cleaned up and went to my first Toad Town wedding. Tracy and Shelley got married down on Yaccoon Point with the water and Tow Hill behind them. The wedding was like a community event, so newcomers like me could come and help celebrate. I was also told that it was rather casual, so I showed up in jeans. And then I saw Chris the Mapper was there, and he'd gotten his hair done and was wearing a new dress, so I felt a little awkward. But yeah, the party and the wedding was like what I had heard other people say they wanted their weddings to be, which was to be casual and really just a big party for their friends and family. The community had gotten together and planned it and helped with the implementation and contributed their various talents, musical numbers, there's meditation, fire spitting. The best I could contribute was salad for the potluck buffet. But I guess the acid test is really if the newlyweds enjoyed themselves. And I saw at least one of the brides out dancing past midnight after the live bands had packed it in and the DJ kicked up. So that's a good sign. Summer's here, but strangely there's also pressure involved with that. For me anyways, I feel like I'm still missing out on food collection. Various windows are closing. I'm getting better with the crabbing, thanks in large part to a mask and snorkel that friends sent up for me. But sea asparagus is starting to bloom, which means it's almost done. Salmon berries are done, and it's now into thimbleberries and huckleberries. So if I want to do some canning, I need to get on it. But I've also been wanting to get out and do some exploring, go on some expeditions. Surf Shop Mike had mentioned a trip that hadn't been done before, which is to paddle the 40 kilometers between Masa in the north and Port Clement in mid-island by stand-up paddleboard. And we've been talking about doing this for quite a while. And so we finally did yesterday. The plan was to catch the rising tide and get pushed down Masset Sound and flushed into Masset Inlet. And that would put an extra 4 or 5 knots under our boards. But we started off the expedition with a couple hours of drinking tea and a lot of big talk around his kitchen table. And so when we finally got mobilized with our pastrami sandwiches, king-size Snickers bars, takeout coffee balanced on the board, we'd already missed a few hours of tide. But we had things in our favor. The sun was out, so we got to stow away the wetsuits. And we made really good time down to Masset Inlet, and then the tide turned and headwinds kicked up. We'd gotten beta from Rich, who spends a lot of time beachcombing down there for timber in the winters, so he knows the area very well. And he warned us of various water hazards, but we still managed to cross some scary looking water, and I drifted haplessly towards a whirlpool. But anyway, we had a few hours of hard paddling to look forward to, and made it just in time around 7:30 for the kitchen to still be open at the bar in Port Clement. So, crusted in salt, we sat on the patio deck and enjoyed a burger and a beer and a very nice sunset. I've seen more sunsets here in the past 4 months of being on island than I have in the previous 4 years, which I think is a great indicator of improved quality of life. And here's a sunset that I'd nominate for Sunset of the Week. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next Monday. Thanks.